Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a help video. If you're here for answers, I will not give any answers, simply try to add some clarification, maybe give you a little insight as to what you need to do. I'm going to leave it up to you to actually find the answer. On problem number 1, I know the grid lines did not come in very clearly. If not, please take a look at mine on the video right here. That might give you a little more clarification. This one is basically what I would do is I would visually identify where my zeros or solutions are located. That way you could eliminate some answers simply by looking at it. And then of course right here, these binomials right here can go in your calculator and you can see which one of these will actually produce this picture. Problem number 2, let's see, what do we have? We have equations. What star rule? How about star rule number 1? Graph the thing and you can use your calculator to see which ones will give you these answers. Remember, your keystroke for finding the intercepts is second calc 2. Problem number 3, this is where some people will probably start to freak out. Please don't do that. We're given a quadratic equation. Okay, so that's where we could use star rule again to put this in our calculator. We want to know, when does this equation give me an answer of 0? So we could substitute in a 0 right here, and we can use any one of these 3. We can put it in the calculator. We can go to our table. We can use the quadratic formula. We could G-map this thing. Or if you take a look at your answers are just numbers. Whenever you're given numbers, remember you could guess and check simply by plugging in your x values into like 10 for x and check it. Does 2 times 10 squared minus 800 give you 0? Find your answer there. Problem number 4 talks about completing the square. We did not get that lesson, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you the shortcut in a problem like this. It says which number, it says constant, but look at your answers. These are all numbers. Which one of these numbers needs to be added to both sides? All you need to do is look right here. Don't even worry about that. Negative 46 plus what gives you 3? Get the answer. Alright, this is the same as problem number 3. Okay, but this time you said that this is an area formula, and guess what they do? They tell you the area is 168. Alright, so if this is talking about area and this is a function of area, they're equal to each other. So your x squared plus 2x is going to be equal to 168. And once you have that equation, you can use one of your 3 strategies to help you find the answer. Or, once again, take a look at your answer choices. They are numbers. You can take them one at a time, plug it in for x, and see which one of these numbers, when you plug it in here, gives you 168. That one is really straightforward. Number 6 on your review probably had some washed out grid lines, so you can take a look at mine over here to help you out. And the question is, what's the minimum minimum value of this function h? This is the function h. That's one where you just look at and you ask yourself, what is the minimum value? Number 7, the answer choices are over here. I didn't want to print another page. So this has all these square roots for plus or minus. On this one you need to use your quadratic formula. Remember what you have to do to this before you start your quadratic formula. You got to do something to that before you identify A, B, and C. Alright, number 8. Okay, you're given a table. What star rule should you use? start rule number 3. Okay, so this time you're going to do a quadratic regression. So you need to enter your data. Time is your independent variable. Height is your dependent variable. Put your data in your calculator the same way you did for a linear regression. But this time, since they tell us it's a quadratic, you need to do a quadratic regression. On your calculator, it will be QUADREG, quadreg. That will give you the equation, and once you have an equation for this data, you need to put it in your calculator, and you need to go in your table and find out which one of these values will have a height equal to the ground. Think about it. What is the height when the missile hits the ground? Alright, how high is the missile off the ground when it hits the ground? It's not. So, regression, put the data in your calculator. You notice it's quadratic. Do a quadratic regression. That's going to give you A, B, and C. So you'll be able to type that into your Y equal button. Go to your table, find the answer. Number 9 is this, you're given an equation. Should be able to figure that one out. Make sure that you look at your picture, put that in your equation, look at the parabola, see where it crosses the x-axis, because these are very different. So you can eliminate some of these answers simply by putting that in the calculator, pressing graph, and looking at the picture. Same thing on number 10. Look at the graph. I added some more grid lines. You should be able to find. It's just asking for one of them. There are 2. They're right here. It's just asking us to identify one of them. 10 should be easy. Same thing with 11. Here are some grid lines. You have the equation. If you want to put it in your calculator, you can do that. But it's asking for all of the solutions. 12 is a GMAP problem. The hint is already given for you. There you go. Do your review.